All right, now it's time to catch up with former LSU offensive lineman Damien Lewis. D-Lou, hope you're well, hope you're safe, hope you're healthy. Obviously, it's a busy month for you, a big month for you, the draft right around the corner. What are you most looking forward to about the draft getting here in the next couple of weeks?
Just looking forward, hearing my name get called on the draft day. Put a lot of work in for this. My dream ever since I was young, I dream about this. So, just can't wait, be there with my family, just hear my name called on that day. All my hard work pay off.
What do you think those emotions are going to be like coming from where you've come from? I think your story is probably as remarkable as any in terms of just, how many guys in your high school football team, like 22, 23 guys on your high school football team and
Yes,
and no D1 offers, go JUCO. And now here you are, you're on the cusp of realizing that dream. What are the emotions you're going to feel when you kind of think about that journey and then your
well,
name's called?
down deep inside, it's just a great feeling, something that I never get back, just looking toward the future, hoping that my name get called. I probably cry, probably not. Just if I don't cry, just, just real inside of me, that I did it, all my hard work came out and I, formed a tag. So to really just hold everything there. I know my mom, she gonna cry. She already just talking about it right now. She just said to be patient, God got it. Wherever I go, you're gonna go make an impact on a team. So, I just try to, stay consistent day by day and live by that. Whatever happen, happen. I'm gonna go down, make the best of it.
Yeah, that parental emotion is different. I figured that out having a couple of kids myself, that things that used to not make you emotional, you can start crying pretty quickly when it comes to your kids. When's the last time you cried? I can't see you being much of a crier.
Uh, it been a minute, I don't like to show my tear, show weakness, but it really doesn't have anything to do with that. I just don't like crying, It been a lot of people around the world been hurt, like been real hurt before, We got kids around the world who, starving for food, need a drink of water, those people who really hurt me. So, I never did just want to cry.
I love that perspective, man. I think that's one of the things you bring to the table besides all the physical skills. I love your mentality. I love the perspective you bring to the game. Before we talk about this path to the draft, I want to kind of talk about your path toward LSU. When you first got to LSU, I remember talking to Lloyd. I think I wrote a feature on you this fall. I'm trying to remember, but I remember talking to Lloyd, and he was like, "Yeah, Damien didn't say anything for like the first couple weeks he was on campus, and I didn't really know much about him, and he had his hair in his eyes, and I couldn't really tell what he was about. And then the first day of practice, he started hitting people, and I was like, all right, this guy can play. What was your mentality when you first got to LSU? Was it just to put your head down and go to work and just prove what you could do?
Well, with me, it's just going in, look, listen, and learn. I fall back, observe everything going around me, to check everything out, see do I fit with it. So with me just going in, I just really just look, listen, and learn. Once I learn the system and learn the program, met everybody and just know just I did what I need to expect from him, did what I need to expect from him, just pick those things. I felt like I got real comfortable like toward the spring, working with guys like Lloyd, Sadiq, Adrian, working with those guys, just got real comfortable, just coming out and being a leader, just talking to the young guys, and it really just help me be a better player with them young guys, and talking to them. And, ever since then, I just was quiet, and I came along. I had to start talking because up front we got to communicate. If we ain't communicating up there, something gonna go wrong. So I just started taking over. It just got comfortable and felt good, me talking, and a lot of people respect me. So when I talk, I make the room get quiet and people listen, they understand. So they respect me for who I am.
I think it was Badara who, excuse me, who I was talking to the other day, and Badara said something about before the season, the offensive line kind of came together. I think y'all were in the meeting room, and y'all kind of just put it all out there. And from the outside looking in, that was the biggest question mark going into last season. Could the offensive line be good enough? Were you guys going to be good enough? Y'all had a lot of criticism the year before. And then lo and behold, you go through the season and you win the award for the best offensive line in the country. Where did that start? Where did that process? Was it a moment? Was it a specific conversation? How did y'all go from where you were going into the season to where y'all finished the season?
Well, we know there was some things that we had to do, clean up on tape. But it's gonna take a whole bunch of dedication and hard work and people locked in. I really felt like we bind together over this off season, just going out to eat and hanging around each other, playing games and just being around each other. If somebody go to the store, they send 3 or 4 more boys with them. Just being real close. And coach always said it's us 5. So if one not the loop, something gonna go wrong. So we always got to keep 5 and stay tight. And I feel like that all of us just really connect with each other. And all of us brothers, we care for each other. We'll do anything for them. Go in the foxhole with them. Do whatever it takes. So I feel like in that room it's just something real powerful. That God brought to the room, and everybody trust in the system. They believe in the brother beside them. And we just, mowed the game and kept going and just brought it on out.
All right, I got to ask you about a Joe Burrow story while I've got you here. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Were you eating with him the morning of the Texas game?
Yeah, I always sit with the quarterback. Well, with Joe.
Okay, so the morning of the Texas game, obviously, I think most people know this, but on College game day, they open up and they shoot a cannonball through Joe Burrow's jersey. Were you with him when he found out about that?
Yeah, we were right there in the front. We was eating breakfast and looked over Joe looked over to his right. Somebody told him look over, and they was shooting the cannon through his jersey. That was crazy. Oh, he sent out that game. He was like, all right, bet. Put up 5 or 6 touchdowns on there.
Yeah, he's not the right guy to get on the wrong side of, I can imagine.
Hey, nah, they messed up when they did that. Like they put him in. I believe he got up, he put his food down and got up and left after that one. He was ready. He just ready to go show the world.
I can see that. I was talking to Jack Marucci the other day, and your name came up. And the context it came up in, we were talking about some of the testing y'all did in the preseason. And he was talking about how this was one of the smartest football teams he'd ever been around, the smartest football team. And he said that y'all did some cognitive testing before the season. And, I was taking my guesses. I was like, yeah, I bet Joe tested really well because Joe's obviously this really high-level quarterback. He said, who tested out great was Damien Lewis. Like, he tested out as good, if not better, than anyone on the team. Do you remember going through that process, the cognitive testing? And do you feel like, for you, you're this big offensive lineman, this big road grader. You can hit guys, you can block. Do you feel like people don't know how smart you are as a football player? Is that something that you want to prove?
Yeah, well, a lot of people, got their dislike about me. A lot of people think I ain't smart enough to play big time ball, and it's up to them. But I felt like that I got it. I got the brain, football sense, the knowledge I have on the in the free world. Everything, everything gonna fall in place. And I feel like a lot of people just don't give me a credit how smart I'm is on the field. I pick things up real quick. I learn the system real quick. I see everything on the field, from the tackle to the other tackle. So from the wide receiver to the other one. So I see the whole field. A lot of people, don't give me the credit that I need, but everything's gonna work out like God planned.
One person who does give you the credit is James Craig. He's another one that's, you talked about picking up things on the football field. If you talk to James Craig, the first thing he says about you isn't your size, isn't your physicality, although he's happy to talk about that. He talks about how quickly you pick up things and process them. And he had one of the best quotes I've ever heard from a coach about a player. I think it was for a story that Bruce Feldman did. He said last year that you could have started for the NFL teams that he had coached for, the Chargers. How valuable is that to have at your position coach, a guy who does have NFL experience as you're getting ready to play at the next level?
Well, Coach Craig taught us a lot, I learned a lot from Coach. He was one who taught me how to, break down the film session, see blisters, see DB all over the field, see the safety top, just really how to go in there and break down the film and be a pro at it. He taught me a lot of great things on and off the field. I value Coach, Coach just like my second father. He gave me a chance when I came in. I had to work real hard to go out there and compete. I learned a lot from him over my 2 years I've been at LSU. A great guy, great coach, great father. There's a lot, you know, you can take in from him. And then him being an NFL coach, you know, just coming straight from the horse's mouth, and you know, word of wise coming straight from him, and you know, just getting the feedback and just go put it on the field and just perform.
What was it like going through the NFL combine process? How much fun did you have? I talked to Christian about it. He said it was